Chicken man, why must I chase the cat?
Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. We had a great time at the event last Sunday, and I promise this is the last show I will talk about it. I know everybody I know is probably sick to death of hearing me, but the car show and bake sale for Howland's Healing Heroes and Best Friends for Life was just a wonderful time. The bake sale was amazing. We had some people who really poured their heart into making works of art for the bake sale table. One woman, Jillian, made these cupcakes that I don't think you could buy in a store. There was another woman who just absolutely incredible. So many people baked and brought their stuff. There were dog treats, there were cupcakes. One of the women I work with, Sharon, baked cupcakes and dog treats. There were other people who made dog treats. Just amazing, amazing stuff. My friend Sarah made chocolate dipped and drizzled in red, white, and blue and sprinkles, pretzels and Rice Krispie treats. And they were just amazing. And all of it together was just an abundance like I never expected. So for Sarah's and my first bake sale back, it was a lot of fun and it was a great success. And I certainly need to thank all the people who helped us set up throughout the sale and throughout the day, the cleanup and everything else. Young ladies that I work with, both Shannon and Heather, were amazing. You never know who's going to show up. Shannon promised and she brought Heather, and they were outstanding. We had Zach, our very own Zach, waving, who actually on the way here last week heard me talking on the phone about it, and I was so excited. He's like, "Can I help?" I said, absolutely. He was absolutely instrumental to the success of the day. His brother Justin helped set up. Speedo and Nancy came by. Nancy immediately walked in, sat down, and got to work and helped us throughout the whole day. So Nancy, thank you 1,000-fold. You were an unexpected pair of hands and a very useful one, and it was fun to have you around. And of course, I have to thank Sarah, who, like I said, my partner in crime, my litter mate, my best friend, whatever you want to call her. We did, like I've said before, bake sales in the past, and we're back, and we're already planning the next one. So apparently, we're still a team when it comes to that kind of stuff, which is good. It's nice to know you never lose your touch. But anyway, I've got some, and I do want to thank Dawn for baking as well. I can't, forget her, because she not only baked carrot cake and raisin with cheesecake frosting and filling cupcakes. She delivered them, and she made me my own private stock. I also have to thank Anne Marie, who gave me a whole box of cupcakes that I picked up along the way. Very beautifully done, and just, it's so wonderful. I know, I just, everybody's sick to death of hearing me, but you know what? When I get excited, and I don't get excited about much. So let me have my moment in the sun, folks. Anyway, I've got some pictures of the event, and Zach, we're going to bring the event pictures up first. This was a wonderful moment. We had Bikers Against Animal Cruelty there. That's Juno and Bert in the little motorcycle with the sidecar. Juno with her goggles and her helmet. Bert did not like his helmet. He's a wild boy. And thanks to Greg, who was immediately behind me in that picture, for not minding that I plopped my big behind down on his bike, because, some people don't really like other people touching, hanging on, sitting on, being around their motorcycles. And I was like, "Hey, I want to get in the picture. Can I sit here?" And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." So kudos to you, Greg. There's a few more people in that picture, but unfortunately it's a little wide for the screen. But that gives you the gist of that little photo op, which was pretty wonderful. There were a lot of people taking pictures. It kind of really felt like the paparazzi at my feet there. and a good time was had by all. But the really cool thing is that Juno's mom bought 2 of the Bikers Against Animal Cruelty stickers and put one on Juno's bike and one on one of Juno's cars. So that is like all official and very cool, and was a great moment for Bikers Against Animal Cruelty to get a load of that. That was really neat. There was a lot of people who showed up just to see Juno, and it was really nice. But anyway, the next picture, Zach, please. That was at the end of the event. Everything was all cleaned up. And I couldn't resist one more picture. That's Juno on my lap, Bert with my arm around Bert, and Thomas and Wyatt at my side. And yes, Wyatt has a colored mohawk, which was a very hilarious thing to see because that dog is really cool. Actually, they're all really cool, but that was my final moment of Juno and Bert and Thomas and Wyatt, and I couldn't get enough of them all day. But there we go for posterity. On to the next. Yep, the whole pack went, and you can't see, unfortunately, you can't see Wyatt. He's on the back of the bike. They decided to go for a little ride to pick up some snacks. Very cool. Juno again with her goggles and her helmet. I can't stand the cuteness there. But thank you to the gentleman who let them all pile on his bike and take a ride. Next is our own Dawn. Her granddaughter Amaya with Juno. I don't know who looks more cozy there, whether it's Amaya or Juno, but that was a cool moment for a little girl who loves animals. And the next picture, that was while we were still in Juno and Bert biker mode. That's Greg from Bikers Against Animal Cruelty and Amaya. And it's so funny because in these pictures you can see the shadows of all the people who were just snapping away. But that was a great moment for a little girl again. What do we have next? Anything? Okay, this starts the next sequence. Juno and Bert, needless to say, get into trouble everywhere they go. And you can see these pictures. The little story that's written along with all the pictures is really hilarious. But this is where all the trouble started. You can see the whole thing on Bert's page, Bert's Brigade, or you can look at my own personal wall if you want to read the story. But this is where Bert and Juno started their trouble. Little Bert saying, "Hey Juno, let's go. Let's get the next one." And they spotted a car, and the rest is history. Next one, Zach? Yeah. The door popped open. That's their story, and they're sticking to it. Next one. I don't know about you, but I think, what is it, Grand Theft Auto is a seriously punishable crime, but they seem oblivious to it. And there they are, getting ready to drive off. You gotta love Bert's little shirt there. He's such a little bad boy ninja. And Juno smiling away. And look who's trying to flag him down and stop him. Oh, my. And yes, I had to have them exit the car. It was unfortunate, but true. And that's Juno's mom coming to the rescue there to scoop up the little ones and take them away. But afterwards, I guess Bert was really worried about Juno telling his mom that they had gotten into trouble. And subsequently, he went inside to bribe her and buy her cookies. Next picture, Zach? And there's Bert at the dog treat table of the bake sale, picking out something to try to bribe his sweet Babu's loyalty from her. However, I don't think it worked because Mom found out, and there's Bert in timeout. He got grounded anyway. I love what Bert's mom wrote. Apparently, she told Bert that he was driving her crazy, and he said, "What are you talking about, Ma? I was driving a 57 Chevy." So anyway, Bert spent some time with Ted in timeout, and they're off to their new adventures. That was the end of that. And, it was really a fun time. I'll take the camera back, Zach. It was really a fun time. Bert and Juno always getting into trouble. I can't help myself. Maybe I did egg it on a little bit. Big thanks to the woman who owns that car. Her name happens to be June, for not pressing charges, because that was a good thing. And Juno and Bert got off easy again. I mean, if Bert only got grounded, that's a good thing. Although he tried to blame it on Juno. I don't know. But yeah, to check out the actual words to the story, it's worth reading. Go to Bert's Brigade and scroll back to last Sunday's event, or check out my page and you can follow along the story as it happens. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. I got to see a whole lot of people that I love to see. Not only did Dawn bake for us, obviously she came out, she supported us. Not only did she make baked goods, but she bought baked goods, which God bless her soul. I got to see Doreen, I got to see Eileen. There were people that I know from work that came. It was really nice to see a lot of people come out and have a good time. And, you know, Debbie does an awesome job when she plans events, and she really outdid herself on this one. So until the next event and I get all wound up and excited, you won't hear much from me about it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, I have a bunch of dogs that I want to go through tonight. Unfortunately, there's been nothing going on with any of my birthday dogs, which I'm really disappointed about. They really need homes. I'm not going to go through them again tonight because I don't want to, you know, keep doing the same show basically. But there's only been the one adopted, and I've got nothing on the rest of them. So people, please keep them on your radar, share them. I'll reshare my article, and hopefully we can get those guys home, you know, before it's too late. There are some urgents on there, and you know what that means. Not a good thing. So the first dog that I want to look at tonight is Mac. Mac, unbelievably gorgeous dog. Look at him. I love his ears. I love his brindle. I love his smile. He just looks like such a love. He was found as a stray in New York, turned into the shelter, and you know, that's a death sentence, that place. And 20 Paws Rescue saved him. He's looking for a forever home. I believe they won't turn away a good foster. They're calling him a clean slate. He gets along with other dogs. He's a real cuddler. He's very trainable. He's playful. He's happy. Right now, he's about 18 pounds. He looks bigger than that to me, but, you know, picture in perspective. They say he'll be about a medium-sized dog at maturity. And if you are interested in Mac, and how could you not be? He's like totally puppylicious. I'm sorry. I could just look at him forever. I would love to just love on him and play with him and give him kisses. But anyway, if you're interested in Mac, you can email 20 Paws Rescue, that's all one word, TWENTYPAWSRESCUE @gmail.com. 20 Paws Rescue @gmail.com. And the next dogs we have, it's a pair. Let's get the next ones up. Yep, there we go. They're adorable, that's for sure. They're friendly, they're housebroken, they're good with cats, they're up to date with their shots. They're a very bonded pair. They're mother and son. They must stay together, and you can't take that away from them. Daisy on the left is 5. Sebastian on the right is 3. Daisy is a Bichon, Sebastian is a Bichon Lhasa mix, and you can kind of see that. At least I see that. But anyway, they're adorable. You know, 2 little dogs, really easy to do. You know, and they have to stay together, folks. It's not fair. It's bad enough when animals have been living together and they lose their home together. To separate them, I think, is just so cruel when they're bonded. And again, this is a very strong bond. They're mother and son. These 2 beautiful dogs, I'm just loving looking into those eyes. Anyway, Columbia Animal Control. And the number there is 860-337-1222. Again, that's 860-337-1222. And you know, the beauty of adopting adult dogs is that they usually come, yeah, some people can say with their bad habits, But they also come like these two. They're house trained. They're you know, there's not much you need to do with them but open the door, let them in, let them unwind and get used to being in a new home. And you know, there is no perfect dog, but you know, you've got a perfect companion, let's put it that way. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And the little ones, what's one more? If you can do one, you can do two. It's not a big deal. So the next dog is a senior, and that is a Cocker Spaniel. She was also found as a stray. Her name is Sadie, and they say she's about 8 years old. She's very friendly. She's good with kids. She's good with cats. She's good with most dogs. She loves to go for walks. She's spayed. She's got a small cherry eye, which the vet said to leave it alone. You know, if you don't know what a cherry eye, that's the inside of the corner where it like kind of pops out and it's all red. And it's simple surgery, but you know, if the vet said leave it alone, it's because it's very small, it's not interfering. And you know, the older a dog gets, the less you really want to put it through a surgery because it requires anesthesia, and anesthesia is bad for the heart. If the vet said leave it alone, leave it alone. And unfortunately, this poor old girl is not liking shelter life, which you cannot blame her. You know, a younger dog is confused enough, but you get an older dog who spent a lifetime in a home. It's got to be awfully hard just to have to not be home, to be in a kennel, to have all that noise, to have all that craziness. And quite honestly, no matter how much attention they get from the shelter staff, and some of them do dote on the dogs, you know, it's loneliness. It's not being home. You know, anything short of home is not good enough. You know what I mean? It just, I can't imagine. So anyway, Sadie is at Mansfield Animal Control, and the number there is 860-487-0137. 860-487-0137. Which brings us to Noah. And Noah is stunningly handsome. He's a 4-year-old boxer pit mix. He's quiet and laid back. He likes peace and quiet. So they're saying, you know, if there's kids, older kids only, not a lot of, you know, screaming, running around, excitement, craziness. He needs to be an only dog, and cats should be okay. Now, unfortunately, he's got, you know, a couple strikes against him in the book of averages, I guess, if you would. He's a black dog. Black and brindle dogs, Mac is a brindle, are usually the last ones adopted, which really hurts, you know. There's two beautiful dogs in Noah and Mac, and they're like at the bottom of the list of what anybody will look at, which is just heartbreaking. The other strike against Noah, if you will, is the fact that he needs to be an only dog. Now he's a niche adoption, and he's a black dog. So pay some special attention to him if you would. Share him. Share them all, really. They're all posted on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, go give it a like. Even if you don't want to give it a like, just go pull the pictures and share them. Because it's an awful thing to think that, you know, these beautiful dogs are the last ones that are going to be picked. You know, you've got Sadie, who's a senior. You've got Mac, who's brindle. You've got Noah, who's a black dog. You know, they're the last ones that are going to get picked. It's not fair, and we have to work a little harder to get them the exposure that they deserve and that they need to get home. And so anyway, Noah is at the Willington Animal Control, and the number there is 860-428-4422. That's 860-428-4422. And that takes us to our next dog, who is Rocco. Rocco is neutered, he's friendly, and you can see in his face he is a bit confused. He was an owner surrender. Apparently, they considered having a dog an inconvenience, which you should never have another dog again if you are going to do something like that. A dog as an inconvenience is an inconceivable thing to me. Yeah, sometimes it's inconvenient to walk them. Sometimes it's inconvenient to have to do things that need to be done. But love overrides inconvenience. So if you truly love a dog, it's not truly an inconvenience. So Rocco needs a solid home with lots of love. You know, got to work out that confusion, got to give him some confidence back. You know, just help him feel like he's a part of things again, and not to bail on him, because that's just really, that's the worst act of betrayal, is for just to abandon your dog in a shelter or to abandon it on the streets. I can't imagine. But anyway, if you're interested in Rocco, he is in a very low traffic shelter, so the longer he sits there, the more it's going to hurt him. He's in Putnam Animal Control, and the number there is 860-963-6804. Once again, that's 860-963-6804. And that leads us to our last dog for the evening. And, you know, we've got another black dog. That's combined the fact that he is a black senior dog, and he's another one what strikes against him. He has been at the shelter for months. I can't imagine why. He is a handsome boy. His name is Johnny Cash. He's between 8 and 10 years old. He's got a big personality. He's got a lot of spunk. He loves walks. He's affectionate. He prefers to be the only dog. Again, that's, you know, another strike against him. That doesn't make him a bad dog. That doesn't make any dog a bad dog. I keep likening it to the fact that I don't like people. I like to live alone. Why should a dog be forced to conform to the standards of what a human thinks, you know, a dog's life should be? It's not fair. So anyway, you know, he's a lab, so that speaks volumes for his personality. Usually labs have a larger than life personality, and, you know, they say he's got a big personality. He's very affectionate, and he can be cat tested if you've got cats and, you know, you want to see if it's okay to have him around cats. They are more than willing to test him out. And he is at Wallingford Animal Control. And really, folks, it's a shame. He's 8 to 10 years old, and he's been sitting languishing for months, and it hasn't affected him yet. But I know those ladies, you know, absolutely shower their dogs with love and attention and affection. So it's a good thing, but it's not the same as being home. And so anyway, if you are interested in Johnny Cash, you can call 203-294-2180. Once again, that's 203-294-2180. Zach, can you just scroll through all those guys again? Do we have a minute to do that? Okay. These are all the dogs that I've got for you this week that really would like to find homes. And if you can, like I said, go on to the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page and share them. It would be most helpful if you are interested in adopting. All the contact information is on their posts. You know, we've got some underdogs here. Seniors, brindles, black dogs, pairs. You know, let's give the underdog a chance. Let's try to get them shared and home. It's, you know, poor Rocco with that look of total betrayal on his face. You know, you've got Johnny Cash, who's just an old guy looking to find a couch to crash on. You've got Daisy and Sebastian, Sadie, you know, Noah. Let's get them home. It's very least you can do is, if you can't adopt and if you can't foster, to share. So appreciate that very much if you can. You know, it's a crying shame that a lot of these dogs languish for months on end. A lot of times just because of their needs, who needs to be an only dog, who happens to be a senior, who happens to, be brindle, who happens to be black. That's prejudice, because it's about what they look like. Any one of these dogs would make a fabulous pet, a fabulous companion for life, and deserve the chance to go home. Just like all of my birthday dogs, they all deserve that chance. So people, please do your best to share and to network these guys all into homes that, are good homes. And I know that each of these shelters will do their best to try to make those placements. And, they need your help to get them there. Anyway, what are we looking at for time, Zach? Alrighty, well, we can, Speedo just walked in the room, look at you. Did you have fun last weekend?
Blast, definitely, absolutely. It was great, I loved it, and I enjoyed it, and it was great seeing everybody. It was really cool seeing you do the dance. I videotaped it.
Oh no, did you really?
I really
Uh-oh. Zach, I'll take the camera back. Speedo's telling me he caught me in a moment because,
It was really fun.
yeah, but they had a DJ, and it was like a lot of the oldies music to go with the old cars, and there was a really good song on, and Debbie was walking from one direction, and I was walking from the other direction, and we broke into dance in the middle of the parking lot, and we were having a great old time, and then Shannon came over, and she joined us, and now Speedo's telling me he videotaped it, so I'm in trouble. There's some blackmail waiting to happen. Anyway, I'm gonna say peace, love, and dogs. Until next week, everybody take care and share those pups home. Thank you and good night.